So thank you Thousandx and thank you all the organization others for giving me chance. Sir, before I start, one question. So language should be English या हिंदी चलेगी? Considering
सर कुछ
आपके
भी चलेगा. आई थिंक एवरीवन इज ऑडिबल ऑन ईच एंड एवरी लैंग्वेज.
ओके तो so everyone is means come to हिंदी हिंदी चलेगा.
आप दोनों कर सकते हैं सर, मिक्स कर सकते हैं.
हाँ okay thank you. Okay so let me quickly briefly introduce the topic. Okay, so topics is a bit mixed. So it is more about the application of Excel, and so let me give you some trailer. So that what would we see in this picture? Okay, so now learning Excel functions technically it might be a difficult thing, but if we can learn this using example and that too the examples which we use mostly for daily our task can be a great. Okay, so I hope everyone is using Tally. Okay, so we will keep this session interactive. So maybe if you have any question in between the session, you can keep on posting on the chat window. I would keep on monitoring the chat window, or maybe after 5 to 10 minutes, I will keep on monitoring the chat window for any questions. Okay, so let's keep this session interactive. So trailer is that so I will be exporting data from Tally, okay, and attempting to create sales dashboard. Okay, now I will be creating dashboard in Excel. So you would be surprised that how you can create dashboard in Excel. Mostly people use Power BI, Tableau, and all these things, visualizations things for a dashboard. But I'm saying that you can create dashboard even in Excel. And the thought behind this all this demonstration is that learning function of Excel by making the dashboards. Okay, so we'll be covering Power Query, which is one of the very powerful feature of Excel. I'll be using Office 365 version of Excel, which always gets updated every month. Okay, so I will insist that if you are on Office 2016, 13 or any lower version, kindly at least upgrade to Office 2019. If you can upgrade to Office 2365 better, today's session you will see. Okay, and I'll be sharing with you a free utility. So it's an open source utility which I will be using to export Tally data into CSV, and from there the CSV files will be imported in Excel और वो directly कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. So we will be doing mix and match. We will be using XLOOKUP function, pivot, Power Query to do all the mashups of data, combining, merging of data, and then we'll end up with a dashboards. And mostly it would be a tabular dashboard or bar chart, graph chart. Okay, all this. So let's start. Let me quickly share my screen. So let me know if it is visible, if the screen is visible. Is the screen visible?
यस सर, यस. यस, विजिबल.
Okay. So let me turn on my Tally. For that, I will require to connect to my VPN. मेरा Tally का कुछ license VPN server through दूसरे PC पे है. Okay, so VPN is on. Let me connect. Let me open my Tally. Okay, so don't worry, I will be sharing all the data. So this is a demo company. This is a completely synthetically generated पूरी entry to entry or master to master जो ledger group stock atom everything has been synthetically generated. Okay, I am not using any of the client's data. You would be surprised. So it took me 1 month to create all this a fake and demo company. Okay, so I'll be sharing this company also. Don't worry. Let's change the period to 2021. So this is a very old data demonstration. Okay, so let me walk you through. So this is simple PNL and what we want. So basically, if you see in the tally, we can see all this means profit loss, then maybe breakup of. Now I want party-wise sales, okay, or daily sales. So we can see a monthly sales dashboard. But let's say I want a daily sales and I want to have control over all these things. Okay, so normally from tally, recently they introduced this dashboard thing, but again, this is a TDL feature. I will be focusing that how we can do purely using Excel. Okay, purely using Excel. So I'll be using one utility called Tally2 database, which I have developed, and it is a free of cost and open source. So don't worry, I will be sharing all this thing, and I will be giving you some time if you want at the end to try this. But again, subject to how much time we have. So let me walk you through that utility. It is a very simple utility to install. Uh, there is a separate YouTube channel for this where all the videos are there. अभी के लिए तो फटाफट रन करके एक्सपोर्ट कर देते. Okay, so I will select CSU as a output. Okay, for this utility, and let me set the financial year properly. 20, sorry, 20 2020 2021. Okay, so this is the financial year I want to export, and I will press sync. So this will generate the CSV files. So this CSV files is having many things like even the transactions or our vouchers. Okay, along with all the debits and credit, all the stock items which we are means which are coming inward or going outward. Okay, all the ledger information is there, stock item information is there, bills, cost center. So I don't have cost center here, so it would be blank. But if you have, it will come. Okay, so let's wait. So generally it takes generally 20 to 30 seconds to export. Okay, so export is complete. I can see import completed successfully. Okay, okay. Now this function of this utility is over. Okay. Now let's view this CSV file. So here you will find a CSV file where all the CSV files are generated. So let me quickly open just one CSV file to demonstrate what we have. So we have all the ledgers. So if you go to the tally chart of account, you will find, okay, these are all the ledgers which have been exported here. If I zoom this, okay, see these are all the ledgers exported. Similarly, even transactions have been exported. Let me show you. So there is a one CSV called vouchers. Okay, and this is having only header information of voucher like date of the voucher, voucher type. So if you want to see this in tally, maybe let's go to daybook. Okay, and let me show you any one transaction. एक तारीख का ही देख लेते. मे बी एक तारीख को नहीं है तो 2 तारीख का है. Okay, the latest transaction is coming from 3rd or 10th. 10 को transaction है, so 10/4. Okay, 10/4 I can see the transaction. Let's say this is the transaction, purchase transaction. This is a voucher number. This is a voucher type. Okay, 10 को transaction purchase. This is a voucher number JIT002. Voucher type purchase है. Okay, and party name is software candidate. Okay, then the debit credit. So let's see the debit credit. Let me walk you through that how the data is arranged. Okay, so there is a CSV file called accounting, ledger, amount. Okay, debit credit. Okay, and this is the transaction number, internal transaction number, which generally you cannot see in tally. So when you export, you can see this. So let's say I want to zero in down on this transaction, purchase transaction. So what I will have to do, I will have to copy this transaction number, apply a filter here, okay, and paste it. Okay, and thumb rule is simple. Debit is negative and credit is positive. Okay, debit is negative, so whatever is debited will be visible as negative and credit will be positive. So if I see this transaction, okay, so purchase debit by 1 3. So individual item wise this amounts are coming. Okay, and IGST is also debited 211,754. So you can see somewhere at the end. If I go, okay, if I maybe expand this here, I can see. Okay, IGST 211,754. Okay, and part sales credit 1388,170. 1388,170. So this way we find all the information. Okay. Now let's import. Now our target is that creating a sales dashboard. Okay. So for that we will have to first create some base data where all this information from daybook is merged. Okay. So let's open an Excel file, or rather I will create my Excel file on the OneDrive itself. Okay. Can create an Excel file. Let's say, let's name this Excel file as sales dashboard. Sales dashboard. And let me open this file from Excel application, not web based. Okay. So I will go here and I would say open it through app. Okay. Now let's import. Okay. So we need few files, voucher header. Okay. Then TRN accounting, which contains debit credit. And to support all this thing, we require few more files uh, like ledger. Okay. Because we would be requiring that if any ledger is debited or credited, under which group that ledger exists. Okay, under which group that ledger exists. So we will requiring this file. Then we will also require one more file called group. So let's say now there can be, let's say under sales, there can be multiple groups. So I will request administrator. I can see scribbling from the screen. So I will request every participant not to scribble on the screen. So uh, let me see if I can clear the screen. So administrator, can you please help me clearing all these things which people are drawing? Maybe.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I am looking at it.
So I think annotation we need to close. Don't worry how to get this utility. You will get. I will be sharing everything. Okay, everything. Let me try to clear. Okay, request everyone not to use the annotate feature. Okay, so I will also be requiring the group because let's say, so let me show you one thing. So if I go to chart of accounts, okay, and go to ledgers, okay, my sales can be, so I can have multiple groups under sales. Okay, maybe sales domestic, sales export. So in that scenario, how to find that ultimately this group is under which main or primary group. Okay, so there is a field called primary group. So irrespective of any hierarchy, so you can find sales and purchase. These are the system defined groups of tally. So primary group will tell us irrespective of any hierarchy. So under which finally group this ledger would go. Okay, we will require this, and we will require one more thing. Now, if you notice, let me go to chart of accounts and voucher types. Okay, so I am not direct. So I used purchase voucher. Okay, but for sales, I am not using directly sales. So I created two sales voucher called B2B voucher type. Sorry, B2B, which is under sales, and B2C. So if I go to my day book, and let's say if I go to any of the future date, okay. So I'm not using the voucher type sales directly, but I'm using B2B and B2C. So now the issue is that in our voucher, this would be written. So I will require one more file called voucher type. Okay, MST voucher type, which will tell me ultimately B2B or B2C, any voucher type is under which parent. Okay, so this is very important. So I require this 5 files. Okay, 5x CSV files to be imported. Let's start. So if you're Office 365 or Office 2019 onwards, you will find a data tab, get data from file and text CSV. Okay, and let's browse this folder. So inside the utility CSV folder, I have all these files. Okay, the first file we require is voucher. Okay, first transaction files. So TRN voucher. Okay, now here comes the Power Query. So if I press transform data, it will open Power Query editor, and later we will be playing with this Power Query very much. Okay, so this is my Power Query editor where I can see the data in glance, and I need to verify if data types are set perfectly. Like date should be in the date format. So I can see the icon of date here. Okay, this icon is so that means Power Query is detecting properly. So majorly you just need to check whether date, text and decimal number properly been assigned. So like, so we don't have any amount here. So we don't have any decimal numbers. Okay. Now close and load. Okay. Close and load. So this will load the data. So this is voucher header. Okay. Now we require one more file. So I will say accounting, TRN accounting we require. Okay. TRN accounting. Transform data. Okay. Now these are nothing but debits credit. Okay. Now in accounting, if you notice, we have two more columns called forex amount. So equivalent forex amount and the currency. Let's say if you are accounting in US dollar. Okay. So the Indian INR version and the USD version, USD equivalent amount would come with the currency. But now I am not interested in forex amount because I'm using INR only. So if you are purely accounting in INR Indian rupees, so what you can do, you can simply select this column, right click and remove it. Even currency symbol can remove this. Okay. So Power Query remembers the steps what we are doing. Okay. So we removed this column. So only selected columns now will land into the Excel file. Close and load. This will load all the Excel file. Three more files we require. Let's do it quickly. Ledger master files. So we require ledger. Okay. Everything seems perfect. Close and load. Then we require group also. MST group. Okay, perfect. Seems perfect. And last file, voucher type. Okay, information of voucher type. So MST voucher type. I know many of you are confused that what exactly this is happening. Don't worry. So this is just like a movie picture. At the end, you will see the means dashboard. Okay, so now we are ready with our files. Okay, so I can close this or hide this window. We are ready with our files. Okay, now we are required to prepare sales dashboard. Okay, so now the information is spread across multiple things. Okay, so let me now what we are concentrating. Okay, so we'll see how you can use Power Query to automate all this. Okay, Power Query to automate everything. Now what we need to do, so we need to start with accounting table. Okay. Now accounting table is having ledger, debit and credit, but we don't know what is the voucher date, what is the voucher type, or let's say voucher number. Okay. Which party it is Sunday data or creditor it is there. So this information is lying in the TRN voucher table. Okay. So ideally we need to merge it. So there are two ways to do this. Either you can do it using XLOOKUP. Okay. Something like this. So let's say I want voucher date. So if I will insert one column here called date, and I will use XLOOKUP function is equal to, let me zoom this a bit, is equal to XLOOKUP find this GUID comma in this TRN voucher. Okay, this GUID column. Okay, control space. So find this GUID in that accounting table and find it in A column. So not A column, GUID column, comma, and fetch me the date. I will click here, control space, date, corresponding date. Okay, this way, don't worry, this is date only. If I format this short date, okay, this way you can even pull other columns. Okay, date, voucher type. But so this is the method. If you are comfortable with this method, you can go with this. Okay, this is one of the way uh, at your disposal. But let me undo this. We have even more powerful approach. Okay, we have even more powerful thing. So let me go to data or okay queries connection and let me view this. Okay, let me edit this. TRN accounting edit. Now what I'm going to do. So I'm going to prepare an intermediary table from which I can prepare not only sales but purchase dashboard and any of the expenditure dashboard, anything you want. Okay, so I will let me guide you that how you can prepare this. Okay, so I will keep this base data which we imported for reference as it is, and I will start creating one uh, what you can say derived table. Okay, which where we will be merging all these tables. Okay, merging all these sheets or tables. So I will start with the accounting table. So I will say start a reference. That means refer to this table. So just like in Excel, we refer to sales. So is equal to we put a cell reference. So this is Power Query table reference. Okay, and let's say let's call these tables as sales. Okay, sales. Now let's start. Just a minute. My mouse went. Okay, so sorry for the disturbance. So I created sales. Okay, so sales is nothing but referring to the table. Now here I am going to, so instead of XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP, let me show you one powerful feature of Power Query called merge, where we can actually merge multiple tables, okay, or sheets, you can say. So let me go to home and use merge query. Okay, use merge query. So I want to merge this base sales table with voucher table. Okay, and I would say what is the connecting field between this? So this GUID. Okay, so these two tables or sheets are connected using GUID. This is the common column, and I will say just I just want matching rows to come. Okay, I just want matching rows to come. So only matching rows. As soon as you click this voucher table gets merged. Okay, now Power Query is asking, okay, so now since we have merged this both sheets or table, which fields do you want to add to this sales table or origin table? Okay, so I will untick this, uh, unselect all the tables, sorry, fields, and I will say I just want date, voucher type, even voucher number is not required if you are preparing for dashboard. If you want, we can you can keep. Okay, voucher number and party name. Okay, we also want party name. Okay, now if you see, so this information which we were preparing using XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP directly came. Okay. So XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP, using that formula, one column at a time was coming. Okay. And here in merge, you can literally select, means tick mark all the columns, specific columns which you want to be merged. Okay. Now let's merge one more thing. Okay. Now, ideally, you will find all this B2B, B2C, but I am not sure whether B2B or B2C can come under sales, or manually I'll have to select this is a that this is a sales, this is a sales. So let's merge even voucher type table. Okay, so what I want voucher type parent to be merged into this, so that I don't need to rely on this voucher type. Okay, which came. So I want the parent of this voucher type. So let me merge. Again, I can keep on merging this. So I will merge voucher type, and this time we are merging based on voucher type. So this voucher type in the sales table is nothing but in the MST voucher type table. This is the voucher type name. Okay. And I'll say only matching rows. With this, we got access to this table. Okay. So I'll unselect this and I want just parent, voucher type parent. But now this field name is very confusing. So this might be ledger parent or voucher type parent. This is a misleading. So what I will say, let's say I will say voucher type parent. Okay, voucher type underscore parent. I will rename this field. Normally in Excel you cannot directly rename like this. Okay, in tables. But here Power Query supports all these things. After this, we need to merge one more thing. Okay. So whatever ledgers are being debited, credited. Now I want all the ledgers with the under the sales group. Now, unfortunately, this information is not enough. Luckily, I have only sales laptop. But if assume that we have 6 to 10 ledgers under sales, that would be very confusing then, difficult. Okay, to tick all this ledger. So I will merge even this thing. So let me merge even ledger table to this. So the ledger here is nothing but the ledger name in the, okay, matching rows. Okay, from here now I'm interested only in the parent. Okay, so this is ledger parent, nothing but ledger parent. Now if you go here, you will see that what ledger parent is there. So let Axe automation. Okay, so this is under the group laptop dealer. Okay, and I want to, so I will rename this as a ledger parent. Okay, ledger parent. Okay, and we want one more thing from the group table. What is the primary group? Ultimately, all this thing is under which group? Okay, so I'll go to sales and now I will merge this group table also. Okay, merge the group table and I will say this ledger parent is nothing but the ledger group. So this is the group name in the group table. And from here, I am just interested in the primary group. Okay. Okay. So we are set. Now this table contains many transactions. Okay. Even purchase transaction also, but we are not interested in purchase transactions. So we are interested only transaction where a sales ledger is debited or credited. Okay. Or wherever any ledger which comes under primary group sales is debited or credited. So let me start filtering steps. Okay, filtering this. So I will say, so I went here and I'm saying, let's click load more. So I'm saying that please from this sales, please keep only those rows where any ledger which is ultimately under the group sales account is debited or credited. Okay. Yes. Okay. And we want one more thing. So we want So let's say if we want to prepare sales dashboard, okay, we'll have to exclude journals, okay, or we will have to actually exclude receipts and payments. Okay, receipts. So I don't want receipts and payment. I just want voucher type where sales is done or maybe sales return. That means credit note is there. So I am not interested in receipt and payment. So like receipts of the sales. Okay, so I will say that voucher type parent. So I don't want sales order or sales receipt or payment. So I am just interested in sales and credit note. Luckily, there are no receipt payments because already receipt payment got filtered when I selected this primary group. Okay, so I just want voucher type with sales and sales return. That means credit note. Okay, so I applied all this feature if you filters. Okay, so I have merged all these tables and then applied the filters. Now let's click close and load. So this will create one processed sheet, process work means worksheet with only sales data is there. Okay. Now let's prepare uh, our dashboard. Okay. So I will go to insert pivot table based on the sales. Okay. Okay. Let's try multiple dashboards based on this. Okay. Let's say if you want party wise sales. Okay. So I'll drag party name here in the row axis and the amount here. Okay, let's format this. Okay, so this is the party wise sale. Okay. This is party wise sales. Let's start creating. So I will say this as party wise sales. Let's say you want monthly sales. Okay, let's say you want monthly sales. So I will duplicate this. Okay, I will duplicate this sheet. What you can do, move or copy, create a copy at the end. And I want, let's say I want monthly sales. Okay, and I'll just edit this pivot table. So instead of party name, I will drag this back. I will drag the month. I will drag this date column here. Okay. So if you are not interested in quarter, what you can do, you can drag back the quarter. Okay. So this is monthly sales. Now, if I remove the year, issue is that it will go start from Jan to Feb. Okay, because it will lose the year information. So that's the reason I'm not removing the year from this. Okay, so this is the monthly sales. And I removed the quarter because the quarters were as per global system. So Jan to March, it was saying quarter number one. But ideally, we require some different system. Don't worry, we'll handle. Okay. And let's see how to even prepare bar chart based on this. Okay. Let's say we want a pie chart based on this. So what you can do, you can go to any pivot table, click pie chart. Let's say something like this. Okay. Okay. Now I have this. So what you can do, you can copy paste or cut paste this charts and arrange this in the single sheet. Let's say monthly sales. Okay, we want to, or let's prepare daily sales. Let me show you daily sales. Okay, I'll create a copy saying this as daily sales and I'll modify this pivot table a bit. So I will drag back month from this and year also. Now I have date daily sales. So I can say that prepare a pivot chart and a line chart. Okay. So this will appear something like this. So this is a daily sales. Let me drag this. Okay. So if you want to monitor that which dates your sales spiked very high, something like this, you can very easily monitor. And beauty of all this is that, let's say if anything changes in the tally, okay, what you need to do, you need to simply run the utility once. You simply need to run the utility. You just need to press sync. So in 30 seconds, a new files would be generated. Okay, new files would be generated. And after that, you just need to go to Excel and go to data and just press refresh all. Refresh all. So the new CSV file generated, it will automatically update all the charts, pivot and this data based on the fresh data. So it might have latest data or whatever it might. Okay. So like this we can do. And since I included these two functions, so let me see if we can try to learn few more functions like unique, sort by, group by. Now I don't think I will be able to show sort by because I don't see any utility. Maybe I included, but I can show you the group by. This is a new function. I'm very sure not everyone would be having access to this group by function. But let's say if you want to prepare something like this without pivot, ideally I will insist, please go for a pivot table. Okay, don't prepare using these functions because it is a very long way. But let's say if you want to prepare pivot table, so there is also a new function by Excel crop group by. It is complicated, but for the sake of demonstration, I will show you. So let me drag this sales sheet here. Okay, let's say we want daily sales to be created. So what I can say, so there is a function called group by. Okay, so it is nothing but doing a pivot thing. So I'll say group by, and then it is asking which row. Okay, which row it needs to group by. So I need to say date. Okay, I need to say date. Click here, control space. Okay, comma. Where is the numbers where you want to aggregate? So I'll say C column, control space. Okay, amount column. What is the operation? Sum, average, count. So I'll say sum, and I will. Okay, after that, few more things you need to say. Do you want headers? I would say no, I don't want headers to be displayed. I will write it manually. Okay. Depth. So do you want grand totals? Yes. Comma. Sort order. Comma. I will leave it blank. Filter nothing. Okay. I can end this function here. Okay. Now let me format this as date. Okay. So these are our daily sales. So I can say my date and it's my turnover. And this would match with our pivot. So 11.4 sales was 730,390. Let's see 730,390. So this is as good as preparing a pivot table through the functions. Let's say if I copy paste this and I want to part based on the party, so not the date. So maybe I can edit this and I can say that I want based on the party name. Okay, something like this will come. Okay, like this it would come. So it's up to you that how you want to basically arrange. Yeah. I will say go for this pivot table best. Only advantage I see in this group by function is that, let's say if your files are updated and if you fail means if you refresh this, but generally this refresh all will take care. Okay, refresh all will automatically take care. So I would say in this scenario, group by has no advantage unless and until you want the control over the header names. Now the issue is that here we don't have much control over on our header. So maybe you can edit, but there is a limitation. Here you can very nicely arrange this. Okay, like pivot will have this default formatting like this. Okay, which we can not remove much. Okay, till some limit you can remove, but not much. Okay, still the default some like pivot formatting would be there. Group by will let you format whatever way you want. Okay, so this was a mentor's jindagi and this was a arm jindagi. So they are with different purpose. And let's say you want to sort it. So I guess this is sorted. Let's say you want to change the sort order. So I will sort in sort order. I'll say -1. So this gets reversed. Okay, this gets reversed. Like this, you can always play. This. Now let's say if you want one more thing, if you want, I can demonstrate one more thing. Like here, what happened? I go to chart of account and if I show you this group summary, okay. Now the issue is that this I have B2B and B2C separately. Okay, so I want these are my Sunday daters. Okay, these are my Sunday daters. So if I go to ledgers and under Sunday data, you will find all this. Okay, all these parties. Sundry, sorry, somewhere at the bottom. Yeah, Sunday daters. Okay, these are all my ledger name. But let's say I want ledger group name. Ledger group name. So you can even add the ledger group name. Okay, it's very simple. What I would do, I would go to this sales. Okay, data. I will edit this. Now, what I did, I basically fetched the group name of the ledger which was debited and credited. Now, what I can do, I can even add one more group to this that this party name. Okay, what is the group name of this sundry debtor or creditor here? So what I can do, I can again continue this and I can say merge queries to the ledger table, and this time instead of linking the ledger, I can say now please link party name to the ledger table. I can link the same ledger table multiple times with different fields. Okay. So ledger name, please link with the party name. So this ledger, please find here only matching rows. Okay. Now I want the group name to be displayed, parent. Okay. And I will rename this and I will say party group. Okay. Party group. So this will modify my table and add one more field called party group. Now if I go to my party wise sales, okay, let me make a copy of this. And let me go to pivot table. I think let's refresh this, okay, or let's say party name, okay, party group. Maybe we'll have to refresh this so that we can have party group. Yes, now party group is coming. Now what I can do, let me remove this visualization. I can do something like this. Okay, I can drag even party group. So this is even more presentable. So corporate, these are the parties. E-commerce, these are the parties. Okay. Or maybe if you don't want party names, data creators, you can drag like this also. Okay. Whatever, whichever way you want. So this way you can play with anything and you have complete control over all these things. Okay. Which generally for Tally you will require TDL, but with Excel just merging and filtering. So what I did was just simple merge and filter. So I was doing nothing. Okay, now one question remains, that this way I created for sales, but what about purchase? So let me quickly show you for the purchase. So I will again go to where is connection. So this was one time activity. Okay, this was one time activity for single client, and then you can make a copy of this Excel file, and you can copy paste this CSV file, and all maybe rename this folder to your client one. Okay, what generally I do is that uh, so I have proper client folders, and I copy paste this CSV file into respective client folder and refresh it. Okay, so that I can maintain multiple copies of this Excel file for individual client. So I will say the client name file and name of the client for the Excel file. Okay. Now how to create for purchase? So you need to repeat all the steps which we did for sales, but here instead of uh, selecting like this, selecting for sales, we just need to select all this for purchased. Or let me tell you one more way of doing this for purchase. So Power Query offers a copy pasting. So what I can do, I can literally duplicate. So this is nothing but a copy paste. I can duplicate this. Let me rename this as purchase, and I can go back to any step. I can go back to any step and replace the sales with purchase. So what I did, so let me go to the filtering step. So which filters I applied? So here I applied the filters. So if I go here, so I need to change the filters. Okay, in the filters, currently it was selecting the voucher type as sorry, group, sorry, primary group as sales. So I made a copy, duplicate of this, name as purchase, and here what I will do, I will first remove the filter. Okay, I will first remove this filter. Okay, and primary group, let me change the filter. Instead of sales, I will say keep only rows with purchase. Okay, now I can revise the filter for voucher type. I would say filter all the voucher where purchase and debit note. I don't have any debit note, but you will have to select debit note. Purchase return is there. Okay, and the remaining step as it is, you can continue. Close and apply. So we will end up with same copy of sheet, this time for purchase. All the ledgers debited with purchase. And here you will have to one more uh, add one more column called, so all these amounts are coming in negative because purchase is debited. So debit is in negative. So you will have to, what you will have to do, you will have to make one more change to this. Okay, I will go to edit, and this amount column, I'll have to say that kindly in transform, kindly multiply this. Okay, multiply this amount by -1. Okay, so that this becomes positive. So in purchase return, instead of minus, it would be written as uh, plus because it is credit. Now this will reverse all this thing. Okay, so that debit is positive and credit is negative. So I multiplied this. So for purchase, now this amounts would automatically get converted to positive. Okay. Now I can same way prepare a purchase dashboard in the same fashion and start creating the charts. And you can even create sales register from this using pivot. So now I don't have multiple parties, but you can drag parties and ledgers into multiple thing, and you can even create a sales register. For creating sales register, only thing is that, so I filtered basically on voucher types. So you will have to remove the voucher type filter. Okay, you will have to remove the voucher, or rather you will have to do reverse. Okay, you will have to only apply voucher type filter and let all the ledgers. Okay, Ir- irrespective of any sales or any GST ledger is credited, debited, you'll have to allow. So you'll have to make the same copy and just filter on the voucher type. Voucher type would be sales and credit note. And don't apply your primary group filter. This way, your data would be ready for sales register, and then you can play with the pivot table. Okay. That's it. Now, time to share. Any questions? In the meantime, I am sharing you the links or the chat window. Let
If
me
any
grab,
member is having any query, they can ask from the speaker.
because yes, I'm done with the demonstration. You have to try this on your own data on your, okay, using the utility. Okay, so let me share the utility. So utility you will find on the website called. So let me go to my open source project for this, or you can Google. Okay, you can Google, or it's a GitHub tally to database loader. Okay, you can Google search or Bing search. The very first search utility would be this tally to database loader. Okay, you can Google search this. I'm pasting this link of this utility here for everyone. Okay, you just need to go on this page. Okay, there are prerequisites. So you need to download the utility, and before that you need to install uh, Node.js. So Node, just like you have Java. So you install Java for our income tax on this web client utility. Okay, you install Java runtime. So this is a runtime Node.js for running this utility. Very lightweight. So like install .NET framework runtime Java for running all this utility. This utility is powered by Node.js. Node.js. So you need to just download and install Node.js 30-40 MB ka hai setup, install it, and after that you need to download this utility. Okay, download this zip file. So you need to go to download section from here. Okay, download here utility and extract it in some folder. और extract करने के बाद आपको ऐसे कुछ files दिखेंगे. So you have to run a file called run GUI bat. Okay, run GUI. Okay, this will launch Edge browser, and you have to ensure आपका tally running होना चाहिए. टैली में आपका और एक चीज सेटिंग्स में जाके कनेक्टिविटी क्लाइंट सर्वर, यू हैव टू कीप दिस एज बोथ. ओके, पोर्ट 9000 होना चाहिए और ये टैली प्राइम इज एक्टिंग एज बोथ. सो दिस इज एक्सचेंजिंग वाया XML. ODBC yes or no doesn't matter. Okay, you can keep it yes, no, but this should be both. Okay, so that utility can connect with your tally and generate the CSV files. Okay, don't worry, I have a YouTube channel where the demonstration is there. There is a YouTube channel named Excel Kida. Okay. Okay, so this is the YouTube channel. If you want, I'm pasting the link of this channel also for all of you. ये भी link लीजिए. You have already a video there where I have demonstrated how to generate CSV files. Even the thing which I demonstrated, not exactly आपको ये मिलेगा, but ये मिलेगा. So basically it is into multiple videos. इसमें मिलेंगे आपको, but they are very detailed videos. Okay. So there are multiple videos. So you can run through this Excel dashboard series जहाँ पे बहुत detailed और slowly बताया. But this was a very focused session on the sales. Okay. In video generally I cover in great detail. Okay. So you can go to this Excel Kida YouTube channel, watch how to install utility, how to create this Excel dashboards. ये भी दिखाया मैंने कहीं तो भी. There are many videos, search for it. Okay. And if you want if you have any questions, can always connect with me. So here is my email, WhatsApp number. If you want, even in videos, you will find this email and WhatsApp number. Don't worry. Just remember the channel Excel Kida, where all these things is there. Okay. Okay. That's it. So thank you for patient listening and the checking out the demonstration. So I hand over session back to the organizer. Thank you, sir.
So thank you sir for such a wonderful session. अगर किसी मेंबर की कोई भी क्वेरी है तो वो हमारे स्पीकर से पूछ सकता है. वरना फिर हम इस सेशन को एंड करेंगे।
अगर कोई भी डायरेक्टली यानी पूछना चाहता है विदाउट चैट, प्लीज फील फ्री।
सर आई थिंक कोई मेंबर की कोई क्वेरी नहीं है तो हम इस सेशन को एंड करते हैं।
जी
थैंक
सर,
यू सर, थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर सच अ वंडरफुल सेशन। थैंक यू सर। ओ वी विल मीट अगेन।
डेफिनेटली सर, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।